Hello there and welcome to Sister Sister on 97.3 Citi FM and of course on Citi TV. My name is Jessica. Thanks for joining me once again. This is an all-women relationship talk show. For the next approximately 60 minutes, we're going to be going in. Lots of people have relationship issues apparently. And of course, we're the sounding board. So we'll be here to, offer our 2 cents, hopefully help them make some very good decisions going forward. The show is brought to you by Vodafone. It's also brought to you by Good Day Energy Drink. When we come back, I introduce the ladies, plus I tell you how you can be part of the conversation on the show tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Right, so you're welcome back to Sister Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM. Remember, we're also live on DSTV in channel 363 in Sub-Saharan Africa. So you can watch the show from wherever you are or listen to it as well. So tonight, there are various ways that you can reach us on WhatsApp, 054-998-6996. You can send us an email to jessica@citifmonline.com, or you can simply like our Facebook page. Find us at Sister Sister LIVE. Like our page, join in the exciting conversations that go on our wall. Now tonight I've got sisters joining me, of course, as usual, thanks to COVID, both virtually and in studio. In studio I have a lady who's actually new to the show, as in, but she's been following for a couple of years now. So her name is Felicity Nelson and she's a designer. Felicity, really nice to see you. Nice to meet you as well. I hope you're well.
Too. I'm right.
Good. Is there a short form for your name?
I don't like to shorten my name.
But what do people say? Like Feli?
No, my name's Felicity. Or if you want to shorten it down, you can call me Nana.
Nana.
If you're going to brofilize it, stick to the English name.
Just checking. I think I'll stick with Felicity. I hope you're well, though.
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. All right, we also have Demi. Demi online, what's going on? How you doing?
I'm good, Jess.
Nice.
Hi, Felicity.
Hi. Good to see you, Demi. What's new in Camp Demi? What's happening?
Oh, nothing. Just busy, work, life, family, everything. Same old.
Same old. But at least you're making money. Please tell me you're making money.
Well, I better. Yes. Priority in caps.
Tell me about it. Also, we have Mansa Preko joining us. She is the Assistant Registrar, GIMPA. Mansa, so good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Jules. How are you?
I'm all right. Can't complain, actually. Welcome to the show, ladies. Let's jump right in. There are people who are waiting to hear our opinions on their very important issues. So we'll jump in. First story or first message that hits the show tonight says, "Hello, sisters. I've been staying with my boyfriend in Accra for about 6 months. Now, I just found out that he has a 4-year-old son with his baby mama, and they're still seeing each other. I'm very upset and I feel betrayed. Now, truth is, he's married with 3 kids and his nuclear family believes he's traveled abroad to further his studies. I know people may think I'm insane for even feeling cheated on. He's a lovely man and I don't want to lose him to anyone. How do I stop him from continuing the affair with his baby mama?" And that's the first message on the show today. Felicity, you're in studio with me, so I will dump this right on your lap.
Well, I'm glad that she says people will think I'm insane, because that means she actually knows she's insane. Like my wadam. She's very, very mad. And honestly, when this story, let me just roll my eyes. First of all, so if you're watching this, this is such nonsense. How can you be dating a married man who has children, who can lie to his wife and his children about his whereabouts, making them think that he's left the country when he's actually still in Ghana with you? They think he's gone to go and study. So already this, for me, just speaks to the core of this man's dishonesty. And then you're shocked that you find out that this man also has another woman that he's had a child with, and you're surprised that he's still seeing her. He's dishonest to his wife, dishonest to his children. Why would you be surprised that he's dishonest to you? And how do I stop him from seeing her? I don't know, chain him in a room? What kind of nonsensical question is this? Like, you can't stop him. Like, it's clearly in his nature to be a cheat. A man who cheats on his wife probably is going to cheat on you as well anyway. And if this is what you want and this is what you think you're worth, then hey, I can't stop you from dating him, but you can't stop him from cheating on you with other women and maintaining other relationships aside your own, because he's already doing that because he has a wife.
All right, let me bring in Mansa. Curious to hear what you have to say on this particular one.
Yes, I think this case is a typical scenario of using counterfeit to buy weed. Because you are cheating. I mean, you are taking somebody's husband from him. And when someone is also taking him away from you, you have the guts to complain. I don't get it. I think she's insane, as the sister in studio said. She is insane. And I would tell her to just leave the man. What if the man also comes to the realization one day that I don't want to cheat on my wife anymore, so I want to go? Then what happens to you? Are you going to die or burn the sea? So I feel she should leave. She should come back to her senses. I think now she's on cloud nine. She's just hallucinating somewhere. She should come back to her senses and just leave, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
She is, however, saying that the guy is a lovely guy and she doesn't want to lose him. She doesn't want to lose him. What do you say about that?
And what should the wife do? What should the wife say then?
Yeah.
It's quite unbelievable that anyone would think that a man who lies to his kids, especially.
She's actually feeling.
Are you there, Mansa? Okay, sorry. Let me come to you.
I think it's quite ridiculous that she would be surprised that a man that lies to his own children will not lie to her.
Right.
Like, wife, fair enough, maybe he's a man who just genuinely lies to his women, but his own children, they think he's out of the country. He's willing to not spend time with his own kids just to be with you. And you think this type of man is a good man. Like, I'm wondering what is good about him, because all the things she stated here, like, they're huge red flags. And it just really speaks to the core of the fact that this woman clearly has very low self-esteem. And if she thinks this is what she deserves, if he doesn't want his wife anymore, ask him to get a divorce.
Right.
And I can't tell what he wants to do regarding this baby mama thing, but she has to ask him, what do you want to do? But there's nothing she can do. A man will only stop cheating when he wants to stop cheating.
Right.
So you have to ask him, is this how it's always going to be, or are you going to stop? And if you actually believe he'll stop anyway, boy, this man can't be trusted.
There's that too. Mansa, are you back on the line?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, good. We lost you there for a second.
Okay, so I was saying that the lady is now feeling the actual pain that his wife would feel if she got to know he was cheating. Okay, and so she should empathize with the wife and see what the wife would go through if she gets to know that he's cheating with her as a wife. So I think it's not worth it. I feel she should just let the man be, respect the fact that the guy is married, and if he's a good guy, indeed a good guy, he should be with his wife. So he being with his wife, having a baby mama, and having you on the side, I wonder what her definition of good guy is. Good guy is.
All right, Demi, let me bring you in. And what do you think? I mean, Charlie, she's been staying with this guy for 6 months.
We being punked? Like, is this a serious case? Like, should I go in?
Elaborate.
I mean, lady, sweetie, this is the most ridiculous. You yourself, you are being ridiculous. He's a liar and a cheat times 3. Wife, the 4-year-old who he has the baby, the child who is 4 now, and you. So this has been going on for some time. He's a serial cheater. He's not going to change. And he's able to even lie to his family that he's outside the country. I mean, can you believe it? Like, he's let go of all his responsibilities and is not allowing his own spouse access to him. He's told this lie to his own family. What are you doing with this guy? He's not about anything. He's about zero. Leave. I don't even know. This is beyond my comprehension. So, lady who wrote in, please, this guy is he's not worth a lick of your time. He's not worth anything. He's not a lovely guy, clearly. So whichever loveliness he's showing to you, there's nothing real about it. It's all fake. And he is going to move on to the next woman. He sounds like a skirts chaser. I don't know what you're doing with him. So, and you don't want to lose him to anyone. He wasn't even yours to start with. He's legally married to somebody else, and he's had a side baby with another lady. Who knows however many other children this man may have, or other mistresses or side chicks he might have. So he wasn't even yours. So please, you are not losing him to anyone. He wasn't yours. So please, you just let him go. He's blocking the other good guys from coming. He's blocking all the chances. So please, just drop this one. Just consider it as a part of your life where you were having some mental challenges, but now you've been knocked back to your senses. You're back to settings. We pinned your head a bit, and you are back, and your eyes are open wide like this. Yes, now you can take better decisions. So next, moving on.
Right. I mean, dear lady, you've heard from the sisters, and we're all singing the same song for a good reason. Your story is downright ridiculous. Okay? Now, this is what I want you to do. Think about your end game. Like, where's this going? One, the guy is married. So he's not about to leave. If he could leave his wife or wanted to leave his wife to be with you, he would have done so. So where are you going? Like, what's the plan? Or is he, I feel like maybe he's taking care of certain aspects of her life, maybe giving her money, because I don't understand how someone would settle for less.
But maybe he could genuinely, because there's men who are cheats, but when they're with you, they can be so loving, so caring. And that's part of their appeal. So they know that they do that and they keep you hooked on.
But usually you don't know that they're cheating.
No, but even when you do, there's men who cheat, you find them, I'm so sorry, baby. He showers you with love, and it's not always money. Sometimes just showering you with attention. This is a man who's left his family to move in with her.
Right, 6 months.
Yeah, so for her, he's going to use that as something. Do you see how much I care about you? I've even left my family behind, and I'm with you. And in your head, you would also convince yourself that this is actually a sign that he's so much in love with you.
Crazy.
So it's sad, but I can understand what's going on in their head. But please, he has to go. Tell him to go back. Because the reality is, once you become the baby mama, I guess this man might even be the type of person that loves you until he has a baby with you, and then realizes actually wants something else. So probably, the minute she gets pregnant, he's out of there anyway, and then she'll start being the side chick to the side chick of the side chick.
Ridiculous. And you should never settle for less. You're certainly more than that. And that's a fact. We'll go into a couple of comments that came through to the show. This is from Koku says, please just just go and hide yourself. Shame on you. You may even be dating a dead man. Be there and be dreaming. James says, after winning the battle with the baby mama, what next? Are you going to take the fight to the wife? The longer you stay with this man, the more opportunities you miss to meet someone you might have alone to yourself. Use your brain. Ikea says you're crazy. Somebody's husband and you don't want to lose him. Hey, sister, are you serious at all? That's how the message ends. Abigail says, this wicked generation. Hey, the end time is near. Husband who can lie to his family that he's traveled to settle with another woman. This man will never know peace. As for you, this is how it will be for you. You better repent. Daniel says, my sister, better advise yourself for this attempt to forcefully take someone's husband away. It will not work. Go and look for your own, okay? Felix says, mom, evil forest, way pa ye friend no gane. Hey, Charlie.
Evil forest,
evil forest, way pa ye friend no gane. In some wahapa. Yeah, it took me back to tree class. Christian says, hey, auntie, after all this, you want him for yourself? He doesn't belong to either one of you. Just 6 months and you are planning a takeover? Mind you, the baby mama was there before you came. If anyone needs to leave, it's you. There are a lot of it's on the show today. Nana says, sister, kneel down this minute and say, Father, let sense locate me in Jesus' name. Kofi says, instead of our young ladies to go for their mates, start life, build a future, together, they won't. They prefer what their fellow woman has already nurtured with their sweat. If our ladies and gentlemen these days will value the impact of the sound of from people they do bad to, I believe we can all change our wayward ways. I wish you well. And finally, Nana says, Kronfo akoria kronfo. Wait, Kronfo akoria kronfo abefa. Okay, I get that. It's Sister on Citi TV and, of course, on Citi FM. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, there are more messages. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM, brought to you by Vodafone and Good Day Energy Drink. So, sisters, says this message, my husband and I have been married for a few months now. During our courtship days, he told me about a young girl he referred to as his daughter, and they both attended the same church. I didn't like their interactions on WhatsApp and other social media platforms. I later found out that the girl used to like him and they were both planning on meeting each other, but because I was mostly with him, their meetings never happened. I was really not comfortable with their relationship. I confronted him so many times to stop talking to this particular girl, but he didn't listen. The girl won an American lottery, traveled to the US a year before we got married. We're married now and they vibe now more than ever. He claims he sent her money to try the lottery she won, so she feels indebted to him. She sometimes calls him late at night through WhatsApp voice calls and video calls, and whether he's home or at work, he doesn't mind picking up. I find this very odd. If he's home and I'm available, they'll talk for about 20 minutes and end the call. If he's at work, they can speak for over an hour. Only God knows what on earth they're talking about. I found out all this when I took his phone. He sometimes asks her for money when he's in need of urgent money funds. And this is without informing me. Jess, can you imagine that they have intimate conversations to the extent of telling that 20-year-old girl how we can make love? He also told her how he also loves her sex game. I think this is getting out of hand because I've been quiet for a very long time. How do I put a stop to this nonsense? I need some advice, and I need it quick. Mansa, let me come to you with this one. I don't know how you feel about this.
I really feel for this lady. But I will look at this from two different angles. One, but what would a married man be talking to about a married man discussing with a 20-year-old? I feel there is something going on. And the lady in question, that is the 20-year-old girl, is also akwalabone, because you know this man is married. And he's with his family, and you are in the US. Why don't you, at your 20-year-old life, find a life and something for yourself? Try to find a life for yourself and leave this married man alone. I think the lady can actually do something. She may also want to find a cousin, a friend, a work colleague, something like any man who would also be calling her and chit-chatting, laughing at their leisure times, for the man to also know that, he also has somebody he's been talking to or somebody he can talk to. And when the man realizes that, I'm sure he will sit up. Because this is so sad. And the man shouldn't have even started in the first place. But yes, he has started. I think the lady can take this route by also finding somebody, a cousin or something, with nothing going on, and then try to have some conversations with him at all times, just as the man also does with this little girl. And when he realizes that somebody is also taking away his wife, he would have a sense of how it feels to go through that. And then gradually, he'll come back to his senses. I think that's what she has to do.
Okay. So I guess for you, it's more of the whole tit for tat thing, but doesn't it, at the end of the day, leave the world blind?
But I think he needs to have a feel of his own medicine.
Okay. I don't know if you agree.
Well, first of all, on the tip for tat completely, I think that would be nice. It would be nice to have that person to chat with. I think that is very obvious there's something going on. I think the wife is deluding herself. Like, she knows there's something going on, but I don't know what else you want to see. How would your husband, who doesn't have any sexual relationship with someone, tell the person that he loves their sex game? How would he know? How would he be privy? Because no one can describe their sex game in order for someone else to be able to love it if you haven't experienced it. So it's clear that there's something going on, but I guess the wife is, she's seen all the evidence. You're seeing how long he spends talking to her. You see the relationship. You know there's something off, but I guess she doesn't want to believe that her husband is capable of doing this. But he is. He's cheating. Or he has cheated. Well, he's cheated and he's cheating, because even though it's just phone conversations at the moment, but he's still maintaining, and it's an emotional form of cheating where he's still maintaining this relationship with this woman. In regards to the girl being a Kolabonede, like that girl, she's 20 years old. She owes nobody any loyalty. She's not the one married to the man. She didn't go before God and man and promise whatever. So for me, I'm not going to be here blaming her. She's young and impressionable. So I don't understand why a married man will be engaging in certain conversations with a 20-year-old. Yes, she's an adult, but she's a very young adult, and he should know better. He really should know better. And the fact that he's been engaging her, and to the point that he talks to her in his wife's presence, how disrespectful. Like, this is a man who doesn't even respect his wife. It's one thing to be talking to women when your wife is not there, but then in her presence, when you're exchanging such messages about sex, it's clearly a woman you've had sex with, and you're speaking to her in your wife's presence, you're entertaining her. Even if you're doing something, you'll stop to talk to this girl. So he's already demonstrated to the wife that this girl means more to him than her. And I just don't understand why she's asking. She's still kind of in this kind of confused state when like literally, what else does she want to see? Does she want to see a video of them having sex before she accepts the fact that her husband is having sex with this young girl? So Midia, like, I think she needs to decide what she wants to do, and confront him properly about the fact that he's cheating on her, and then she can decide what she wants to do.
Right. Demi, let me come to you. What's your take? And I'll just take your general comments on this, but what's your take on this? Like, is there like a best practice when it comes to how to conduct yourself when your partner's there? And I'm saying this in reference to the fact that he just takes the girl's calls, video call, audio calls, anytime, and talks for minutes on end. And it seems like it's a regular thing. Reason why, the wife is complaining.
Yes, Jessica. Clearly, he as the married man has gone past boundaries. There are the rules of engagement. You're married, like Felicity said, you are the one who took the vows. You are the one who has the responsibility to honor those vows. And in those vows, it says, forsaking all others, right? Till death do us part. So you are clearly not forsaking all others, because you're prioritizing this woman. You pick her calls whenever she calls, at home, at work. So she comes before all of those things. That honor that you should assign your wife is what you're clearly assigning this 20-year-old friend, which clearly is not a friend. So I don't understand why he is allowing this to continue, and why she also, on the other hand, has let it happen. Because, of course, you can't control another grown person's behavior, but he's clearly engaging in activity that are outside the bounds of marriage. Now, you can have friends of the opposite sex when you're married, but there are rules to things, and there's appropriateness and things that go beyond that. One of the best ways is to include your spouse in that friendship. Perhaps you were friends already. Oh, so I'm Demi, I get a call from a male friend, maybe somebody I grew up with, somebody I may have gone to school with. Hello? Oh, honey, Robert called, and he was even asking of you. That's a friendship. That's a friendship with, clear boundaries. He doesn't, if this is an example of Robert does not call me at inappropriate times. When my husband is around, I can clearly, or feel free to pick up his calls. We can talk. It can even be on speaker. He can also say hello because, we're driving. Oh, my husband and I were off to so and so. He's here. Oh, say hi. Those are appropriate friendships that we can all have with members of the opposite sex. However, if you're doing all these things outside those boundaries, then you have left certain lines behind, and you are clearly engaging in things. Especially, I was alarmed when he said, the lady's letter said that they talk about sex and her sex game. How do you know? How did you come to find this out? And clearly there's something going on. So she has to pause, reset, have a real heart to heart with him. And this is not when you're crying or anything. You're not shouting either, but you're using your pinky finger. You're saying, listen, let me explicitly put it to you in clear and uncertain terms that this cannot keep going on. Okay, you're not disrespecting him and pointing, but I use my pinky finger. You're letting him know that this is grown woman talk. We're not playing, and I'm over this, and we're done. And you better put this to bed. Otherwise, we're escalating things. So let him know that we're done. Cut it out. Put an end to it. Put her in a coffin, shoot her in the back of the head, throw her over a cliff. That's how done we're about to be.
You're not, okay, so for starters, I didn't even know about the pinky finger thing. Like, what's...
Oh, it's just my thing. It's just my thing.
It certainly catches attention, though, so that's good.
Yes.
Great. This story is just, I don't know, it's hard to believe that it's been left to fester as long as it has.
But for me, I just think even the ultimate disrespect is also the fact that he's discussed their sex life. How can you? I think it's so disrespectful to discuss your sex life with your wife, with anybody,
right?
Especially a 20-year-old
girl.
And you're discussing what happens between myself and my partner. It's just, that is so disrespectful. And for me, it just speaks volumes about the type of man that this is.
Right.
I am actually really enraged about that.
Right.
About the fact that you're discussing how can you have sex with your wife and go and discuss it with a girl. It's not even like, let's say you're having some issues in sex, for example, with your wife, and you're discussing it with your friend, like, okay, I don't really know like what to do, or maybe my wife, we're not, you should discuss it with your partner anyway. But if you can't, then sometimes you do need to seek external other opinions. You're not getting that kind of opinion from a 20-year-old. So why are you telling her this? Is a way to denigrate your wife.
Right.
That's what he's doing. And probably the fact that he's even telling her your sex game is great, it's probably he's even doing comparisons like, oh, she can't do this the way you do it. You do this and she can't do that. That's what he's doing.
What's with him borrowing money from this girl? That's so out of place. Like, you would think that maybe he was the one expending, but it's like he's rather taking from this girl abroad. If I were his wife, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't stand for that at all. Like, not on any kind of level. And I would force him to take a stand, But also, this story sort of gives us an opportunity to talk about privacy when it comes to relationships. Like, is there anything like, this is my phone, this is your phone. Your phone is yours, mine is mine. Like, let's have a chat about that for a second here. What do you ladies think?
Okay, personally, I wouldn't want to go on my partner's phone, and I wouldn't want them to go on my phone.
Okay.
But I do think that in certain relationships, if anyone thinks, okay, I want to be able to go on your phone, then they should also extend that same courtesy to the other one.
Right.
So those rules should be discussed between the two of you. Because I think sometimes phone conversations can be misconstrued. For example, someone could say, hey, Han, to someone, that it doesn't necessarily mean that they have...
That deep.
It's not that deep, but then you read hey, Han, and be like, hey, who is that calling you Han? And then you might get upset over something that's really very jovial and it meant nothing. It was very friendly. So that's why I'm quite against like people snooping.
Right.
But at the same time, if you feel like your husband is cheating or whoever is cheating and you need some extra evidence, Charlie, go in there and get that. Sometimes people need that evidence so that it becomes real to them. But a lot of women go into the phones, to find the evidence, and they still know they're not going to leave. They're still going to stay. So what are you getting the evidence for? So that you can just hurt yourself and let him know you know, but then you're still with him.
Right.
Only take that evidence if you know that if you find out that he is cheating, then you're going to be leaving. But what's the point of you finding out he's cheating and then you tell him, hey, I found out you're cheating, and then you still stay? How's that going to make him reform his behavior? Because you found out now he's just going to become a smarter thief,
right,
who deletes his messages, who makes sure you never find out again. That's all he's going to do.
Mansa, what do you think about this, the whole phone?
Personally, I do not subscribe to going through your partner's phone, because I know that what you do not know will not kill you or will not hurt you. Once you know, you would always be wanting to find out more. And so not starting at all is better. So I would not subscribe to her going through the partner's phone, no.
Okay.
But the story was not explicit as to whether they have already discussed it as couple, as in the lady and the husband talking about this 20-year-old girl and the kind of things they discussed.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like she sort of has the information and she hasn't let her husband in on it yet, So she's just writing to the show more for our input.
And, okay, I don't believe...
So I think because he even decides to go on the tit for tat kind of approach to...
Okay. All right. Demi, you want to weigh in finally on this one?
I would say certainly. I mean, to each couple their own. I would not personally have to go through my partner's phone. I have no reason to. However, if once you do actually have that third voice, that intuition telling you, and women, God gave us something called intuition, and it's usually spot on if it's well trained and honed. If you have that just something ain't quite right, you can gather your evidence, and you can find all kinds of ways to gather your evidence. And if that has come to a point where it then includes going through a phone, well, okay. But generally, it's not a routine thing. Let me check your phone periodically to try to find something. That speaks to a lot of mistrust in the relationship, and that does not generally bode well for the future of a relationship of that nature. So usually I would say no. But then if things have built up, many little lies here and there, things not quite adding up, a change in behavior and all of those things. And if you do wish to gather further evidence, of course, we all want data. We trust in God, but everybody has to provide data. So if you need data to actually be able to put it to someone that, here, this and this and this, and you're not going to stand for that, then, all's well in love and war, they say.
Yeah. Well, I'll wrap up this particular message just by saying that I think you should sit down and, talk to your husband. I mean, this whole thing of him accepting WhatsApp calls from this particular girl you've warned him about has to stop. And until you let him know that you totally disagree with what's happening, it's gonna continue. So there's that. There's all the other stuff that's going on in the background. Just have an honest conversation with him, and let him know what you'll stand for and what you won't. And he has to, compromise, because he's in the relationship with you and not a third party. We'll go for a quick break. Once again, when we come back, another message. And you're welcome back, Sister, on Citi TV and Citi FM. Remember, your comments are welcome. 054-998-6996. Let's hear from you. What are your thoughts on any of the stories you've heard on the show today? Let us know. A message here says, hi, Jess, there's something weird happening to me. I've been happily married for 2 years with a son. 2 weeks ago, I started having wet dreams about my mother-in-law. Crazy, right? This has been happening every other night since then. I don't know what to do or how to stop it. Should I tell my wife? I need help. Demi, I'm coming to you.
Jessica, I guess you could take it from my facial expressions. Like, say what? Having what about his who? Mother-in-law of all the people? Okay, let me try not to be so judgmental and say, well, you're crazy, but you're crazy. So I mean, this is not normal. Generally, a mother-in-law is to be, a mother figure to you, and of course, not in any shape or form somebody whom you would feel a sexual attraction to. You might feel some other kind of attraction. You really like them, or you even feel like you like them more than you even like your mother, or they have some qualities that you wish you had, which your mother may not have. But having to the point where you have wet dreams and it's every other night, oh my guy. No. One, do not tell your wife, because that would make for all kinds of mind-blowing thoughts, and she would be put into a spiral of all kinds of, well, so does that mean that this, and so when that time, and then so when she came over, so then what happens if her mother comes over, and and that could even potentially destroy the relationship between your wife and her own mother. So this is all about you. You have to work through this in your head, whatever it is that is making you feel that way. Go back and think why. Examine this. Why is it that I am having these feelings? Is it that she looks like somebody that you used to like when you were younger? I don't know. But really take time to think it through and ask yourself why you're having these thoughts, these feelings, and these dreams. And at all costs, do not act on whatever it is that you're feeling. This is where you have to pull all your self-control cells together and make sure that you are not doing anything inappropriate, not saying anything. God forbid you flirt with your mother-in-law. Don't do any of that. Keep it as polite, as politically correct as ever. And just, you can also limit time spent with your mother-in-law. There's no need to, now be visiting, several times and all that. So you work through whatever it is that is feeding all of that. And then certainly if you're a man of faith, add prayer to it and ask for guidance and ask for a way to stop this. And also you can go see a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and say, I'm having these thoughts. They are abnormal and aberrant in nature. What can I do? Do I need help? And they can walk you through things. You might have experienced things in your childhood that you may not have even recognized as trauma and have led you to this point where you're having some of these thoughts and feelings. So I don't know why it has suddenly happened, because you had to have met her mother before you clearly got married, and it says that you have a 2-year-old. So why is it that now all of a sudden you are having these thoughts and feelings? So I think there's a little bit more to the story, and we don't have the full picture. So these are some of the suggestions I would give. 1, don't act on it at all. 2, think it through, examine why you're feeling that, then you could be able to find, ways to then put a stop to it, and then limit contact whilst you're working on yourself to get over some of these things. And 4, do not tell your wife, because that has the potential to spiral, because you clearly do not have control over your actions. So bringing her into the picture will not make it will not make things any easier. So certainly get help for yourself. Think it through and don't act on it. Don't flirt. Don't say anything. Anything that could even be misconstrued. And not anything close. No, stay away, please.
Felicity.
Honestly, I really agree with. Sorry, what was her name? Demi on the seeking help, because I think that this is more a psychological issue than anything. So he needs to understand the root of it. And his wife, I don't think he should tell his wife, definitely not. And I think he needs to seek professional help so he can understand what is triggering it. Is it childhood trauma? Was he sexually abused by an older person when he was younger? What's going on in his head? And I think he needs to probably just talk to someone who's a professional so they can work his way backwards to see what's triggering it, to see that, so he can find his way out of it. But honestly, I actually feel quite sad for him.
Yeah. All right, let me hear from Mansa. What do you think?
Yes. You know, the guy said something weird is happening to him, and he thinks he's crazy. So he himself noted it already.
Yeah.
This is very upset. It's abnormal. But I think maybe I would want to go the Osofumami route.
Okay.
By saying that, and some of these things may have some spiritual undertones or underpinnings. So I would recommend that maybe he takes note of the times that you usually have these kind of dreams, and then maybe wake up at those times, and then maybe start praying. I believe in the power of prayer too. So maybe prayer could help. And then secondly, you know, identifying a problem is part of the solution. So he even coming to that realization that he has a problem means that part of the problem is solved. And so as Demi and the other sister in the Shirley said, he should seek professional counseling. And perhaps he has been abused in his childhood days, or maybe he has had an affair with an old, because your mother-in-law is certainly supposed to play a mother figure or a mother role in your life. And for you to have such feelings for your mother-in-law, I mean, if I cannot attribute it to some spiritual whatever, then I don't know what is wrong with him. It could be spiritual, it could be psychological. So I think those two recommendations could go hand in hand to help him absolutely.
Okay. Quick question, though. I mean, whatever happened to transparency, though? Because I see that all of you ladies are saying, you know, he shouldn't tell his wife about, you know, the wet dreams and everything. Shouldn't he just come clean and say, hey, babe, I need help. This is what's going on?
Jessica, we don't have absolute transparency, please. It's not absolute.
So just a little bit.
And also, I think once he tells her, he's offloading this, like, this will be sitting in the so like, and that's the problem. Why are you telling her? How is that going to help her? You're telling her because you're trying to offload it off you. So it's not in her best interest, because suddenly she's looking at her mum, and if she's someone who goes to church and all of that, she might start looking at her mum and think, hey, is my mum bewitching my husband spiritually? And you know, a lot of these churches and these pastors will tell them, hey, mum, if it's all kunu. So all of this, that could really damage the relationship that she has with her mum. And if her mum is ever in the house, how comfortable will she be if she has to this day leave the baby with her mum and her husband in the house, and she has to go and buy something? Right. Will she be thinking, hey, will I come back to meet them on top of each other? I just feel that her mind is going to go into overdrive. And and in a way, she also has some truths between the two of them. And it depends on if she has a very good relationship with her mom, that could really damage the relationship. So for me, I think it's not about transparency here. It's more about protecting your wife's feelings, because he hasn't acted out on it. These are thoughts. Right. He needs professional help. She cannot help him. Him telling her, what can she do? Right. What can she actually do to help the situation? She can do nothing to help the situation. So he needs to go out of his way and seek the help from people who are professionals. Cool. All right.
Yes, I also think same, because while we talk transparency, we are also talking about saving the marriage. You see, we are weighing these two things hand in hand. And so we may want to be transparent, and at the end of the day, what happens? The marriage gets broken. And so I think he should rather not tell the wife in order to save his marriage, and go through these kind of channels that we have recommended for him. Because telling his wife will break her down emotionally and psychologically, and it could even affect her physically. And I don't think he needs to tell her wife in the name of transparency. It's not everything that you need to talk about. Trust me.
I like the way you said that. We'll end the show now. But yeah, I totally agree. I mean, definitely don't say it. You know, seek professional help. And let's see how that goes. Maybe you can message the show again and tell us how that went. So thank you very much to everyone who has been listening and watching. Thank you, ladies, for making time as well. Demi, Mansa, thank you so much, ladies. And we'll be back, of course, same time next week with your favorite All Women Talk Show, Sister Sister. My name is Jessica. Have a good one. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.